Hello, today I will be going over LeetCode question 70, which is climbing stairs. Let me quickly show you the question. The reason I am sharing this is because this question had bothered me a lot when I was first doing this. I was doing this again today just for practice, and I thought I'd make this video. So this question says you are climbing stairs. It takes n steps to reach the top. So you have n steps, okay? And each time you can either climb one or two steps. How many distinct ways can you climb to the top? Now you can take a big step or a small step, right? And they gave you a couple of examples of how this works. Um, Though it says easy, I don't think this is an easy question because the idea is pretty profound behind this. So, because this uses dynamic programming, and let's try to make a visual of that. Okay, these are your stairs, and these are the last three steps. Okay. This is step number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is the nth step, n minus 1, n minus 2. Now, the way you can think about this is you are at the ground floor level, and they already told you you can take one step. So there is only one way for you to get to step 1. Once you are at step 1, you can there are two ways for you to get to step 2. Okay. Now, notice this. There are two ways. Now, you want to get to step 3 now. You don't have to start from the beginning. You don't have to start counting everything from the 0th step, like from the ground. You know you can get to step 2, and we will make an array that will keep track of these ways. So there are two ways to get here. Then we are going to extend this to get to the 3rd step, and we are going to take a bigger step to get there. Now I'm going to make the array that I promised. Here it is. It will make a little more sense when we talk about it like this. So the reason this is dynamic programming is because you are keeping track of some kind of a progress. As you go along, you keep track of some kind of a winning variable. That's how I like to think of dynamic programming. You keep track of winning variables in your array, okay? So this actually the arrays are zero index, but I'm not going to use the zero index because that doesn't make sense to me. The array, okay. What's important is you have to think about what this array means. Okay, the values in the array will be how many ways you can get to a certain step. This is n, this is n minus 1, this is n minus 2. Okay, so instead of at step 3 calculating all the ways you can come to step 3, the dynamic programming idea is you already know how many ways you can get to step 2. And what's that? There were two. We just found that, right? And in case you missed it, I'm just going to highlight that again. So this is one way to get to step 2. This is another way to get to step 2. Okay, there are already two ways to get there, right? And there was only one way to get to step 1. Now, once you are there, this is just hold on, let me show you. Okay, so from step 1 you continue that path. So step 1 gives you one way to go there, right? From step 2, okay, so that was from step 1. Okay, step 1 gave you one way to get to 3. Okay, let's see how many ways step 2 gives us to get to 3. Okay, there is one way to get to 2 and then to 3. Okay, this is another way to get to 2 and then get to 3. How many ways did step 2 give us? Step 2 gave us 2 ways to get to 3. Do you see what happened here? Why we are adding? So this is 2 plus 1. There are 3 ways to get to step 3. We're going to do this for 2 more steps, okay? So you can think about it again. Okay. Now we know there are 1 ways of getting to step 1, 2 ways of getting to step 2, 3 ways of getting to step 3, okay? So this is the winning variable, the winning number of routes, maximum routes. That's why it's dynamic programming. Now, step number 4. Instead of coming again, taking all the steps, checking all the ways to get to 4, we already know all the steps to get to 3. So I think I deleted this, yeah. Now, there are 3 ways to get to 3. There are 2 ways to get to um, step 2, right? Now from there, I'm gonna add 1 more step to get to step 4 and another from a bigger step to get to there. Now think about this. How many steps were there? How many ways? So here is 1 way, okay? Here is another way. Here is another way. So incoming from step 3, we received 3 ways from step 3. We are not done yet. We can still come to 4 from step 2. So how many ways does 2 give us? 2 gives us 1, 2. 2 gives us also 2 ways. Again, this is an addition of the previous 2 steps. I'm going to do that again, so don't worry if you missed it. Okay. So what we said this was 5, okay? Okay. Now let's get to step 5 now. Step 4, to get to step 4, there are 5 ways. That's the winning variable that I'm calling that a winning variable. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ways to get to step 5. Step 4. Here's 1, 2, 3 ways to get to step 3. I think I removed my markers to get to 4. Okay, I'll draw that in later. But we are coming from 5. We are already, we can go to 4, we know that. And from, how do we get to 5? We come from either 3 or 4, right? That's why we're doing this. And we can take 1 step from there, 1 step from there, a big step from there. Now again, think about it. There is 1 way to get to step 5, right? Through 4. Whatever steps you are taking, you don't need to think about where you're coming through. You only keep track of the number, the winning number. What's the winning number at step 4? The winning number is 5. It says there are 5 ways. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 ways so far. And through 5, there are 5 ways to get to, I'm so sorry. I meant through step 4, there are 5 ways to get to step 5, okay? And through step 3, there are 3 more ways to get to step 5. So in total, there are, and there, you can only get to step 5 from, you have to come through step 3 and 4, right? So there are a total of 5 plus 3, 8 ways to come here. Okay, so just to summarize, to get to step 4, you you extended all the ways you could come to step 3, and you extended all the ways you can come to step 2, and you took a big step from there, right? Now 4 keeps track of its winning number. The winning number is there are 5 ways, right? And then let me pick another color. You can jump from there to there. So again, that's 5 ways you've already calculated from there. And then from here to here, that gives you 3 more ways. And in the end, you have 8 ways, okay? This is the idea. This is the dynamic programming idea, because instead of at step 5 calculating all possible routes, you are using the winning number from before in your calculation, okay? So I'm going to show you the code. It's pretty simple, but I'm just gonna show it to you. Okay, let me switch over. Here are my submissions. Okay, I tried a lot. This bothered me. Okay, So this submission was 0 millisecond, bits everything. So this is a good submission. So the way I coded this up is for n, I made two base cases because it didn't make sense to build a full array because before I can go back two steps because at array I want to use the two previous steps. But if I don't have two previous steps, I can't really use this idea. So for the first two steps, I'm just using a base case thing. So if there is only one stair, I'm just going to take one step, return that. No calculation. If there are two, return two ways and return that. Okay. Now from three, I can use my idea because I have two previous steps and I can use the two previous steps to calculate the current step, right? For n, I have to have n minus one and n minus two. Now I have them, right? And when I declare the array, I declare it to be one bigger than the number of elements because I will not be using the zero index. It confuses me. So array sub one means the first step, okay? Now, at this point in the code, I know there are at least three steps. And now it carries on, right? So I set the first step. So array sub one means the first step. And the value in the array means how many ways are there for you to get to that first step. There is only one way. As we discussed before, there are two ways to get to the second step of the array. Now comes the for loop for the rest of it, okay? I begin my for loop at I equals 3 and then go up to array.length, the length of the array being this. And it goes up to n, uh, array sub n, but the length is n minus 1. Again, I plus plus. Now what I'm doing inside the array is setting whatever step I am currently on. Suppose this is the third step. If I equals 3, the third step will simply add up the values, the roots from this is the I minus 1, this is the second step, and I minus 2, which is the first step. So 1 plus 2 is 3 will go into the value for third step. Whatever value this is, you will have two steps, right? And at the end of this for loop, I'll be at the nth step without having to calculate everything to get to each step. I'm using the previous roots to calculate that. And so I return array sub n. Again, what this means is the number of ways for me to get to that particular step. And that's it. This looks so simple, but it's not. I don't think it says it's easy, but again, I don't agree with this because the programming idea used over here, I think, is very deep and not very easy to come up with yourself. So that's all. Thank you for your time and have a good night, everybody. I'll post this on YouTube, and if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Bye-bye.